Hey y'all, welcome back to another episode of Brave Kids Art Club. My name is Brad, and today we're going to be drawing something that one of you requested. Thank you so much for requesting different animals and things to draw, because not only does it make my job easier figuring out what to draw, but it's also something that you want to draw. So that always makes me happy, and it's a win-win. So if you want to submit your own ideas for things that we should draw on this show, you can just go on Instagram and just direct message us, or you can just comment on one of our posts and let us know what you want to do. Now I'm excited for this drawing today because nobody's really seen this creature, but there's been lots and lots of stories about it, and a lot of people do believe that it's still out there. So I'm not gonna say it's not. There hasn't been much evidence to say there is, but I'm not gonna say there's not. But today we're gonna be drawing a Yeti, also known as the Abominable Snowman. So it's gonna be a whole lot of fun. Let's go ahead and make sure we have all of our tools ready to draw, and let's get going. All right, so we're gonna go ahead and start with a sketch of our Yeti. The hard part is, and the fun part, is that we don't really know what it looks like. Now, there's stories of what it looks like, and some people said they've seen the Yeti, but kind of the consensus is everybody kind of thinks that it looks like an ape. It stands on two legs, it's pretty darn tall, and it's fully covered with hair. So there's also differences in hair color. Some thinks it's like a reddish brown, some thinks it's a white. I'm gonna go with white probably at the end, just because it's living in the mountains with all the snow. If it's really going to be hidden and nobody's seen it, then that's probably how. It's going to be white-haired. So anyway, I'm getting ahead of myself. Right now we just need to sketch out the body. So it's going to be big, muscular, ape-like, Bigfoot-like creature. And that's where we're going to start. So with the sketch, I want to just, this isn't going to be the final shapes, but so I'm going to draw very softly a circle right here to kind of show where that head's going to be. Like I said, you don't have to draw very hard because we want to be able to erase it later. If you push too hard, it kind of just gets into the paper and it's not going to go away. So we're going to start off with the head. It's got a pretty big head. Broad shoulders, that means wide shoulders because it's really strong. And we're just going to take this box out here and kind of bring it all the way down. Just bring a line all the way down. Go over here, make it a little bit wider. Bring it straight down. Probably pull it straight down into the legs, honestly, because we're going to have so much hair on here that it's not going to really see a lot of the details of the curves of the body. All right, so then let's do like a little line across here. All right, so I'm probably going to have some big feet on my Yeti here. So I'm just going to kind of, you can draw, I don't know, like a little shape right here. It could even be like an oval if you want, just to kind of get an idea that the feet are going to be right here. There we go. It doesn't have to be anything good because we're going to go over this again. And then we want to get the big arms. I'm probably just going to go curve them out like this. So it still feels kind of primate-like an ape. Kind of like that. And then probably something like this. So we'll just follow that curve, that little C shape. We'll just do another one in here. So it kind of looks like a macaroni noodle. A little bit like a macaroni noodle on the side. Now every time I draw and I do my first steps, it looks really weird. It looks really weird and it doesn't look great. And I usually have to excuse myself and say, if somebody looks over my shoulder, I have to be like, I'm just not done yet. Don't worry about it. But it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how it looks at the beginning because you're just kind of building it up. And it's all about how, it's going to look at the very end. So don't worry if it looks kind of weird and crummy right now. That's okay. All right, and then of course we'll put hands on there. That'll probably take up, let's see, probably about that much space. All right, so this is looking kind of weird. Kind of looks like one of the cards on the old, what's it called? Alice in Wonderland, when they had all the little cards. The Queen of Hearts had all of her cards come after Alice. It's kind of what this one looks like. But we're going to clean this up. So first things first, just so it doesn't look so weird anymore, I'm going to do a little dot right here. And this is going to be where we're going to separate the legs. We're going to separate those legs right here. Because that looks just a little too odd with that little line there. Make it a little bit easier. Okay, cool. That's a little bit clearer now. So now we're going to go back over with a little bit slightly darker line to try to make some shapes. So I kind of want the head to be a little bit more triangular maybe. So I'm gonna add, I'm gonna have probably fur coming off over here. So if I kind of do like a little dome right here, connecting the top, that's kind of a good shape, I think. And that's actually gonna go down, and I'm gonna kind of do some stuff with that. But first, now that I know where it's all at, I can erase a little bit. I'm gonna erase this bit right here, and I'm gonna put the face, I'm gonna erase this all right here, except for that little dome shape that I made. Okay. Now I'm gonna draw the face, which doesn't have fur on it, just like an ape. There'd be no fur on the face. So I'm gonna start with maybe a circle, light circle again. Yeah, that's looking like a good size for the face. Okay, and then I'm gonna add kind of like a half a circle right there, and a half, maybe further back. Oh no. Yeah, if it goes back a little bit further. So half a circle there, half a circle over here, and then I'm just gonna go underneath and just kind of follow the same curve that I have on my circle right there. And I'm gonna try and connect it like this. There's gonna be a lot of erasing in this one. So now I can erase this little middle line. Don't worry, it'll all come together here soon. Sometimes it feels like it's not gonna come together, but it will, I promise you. Alrighty. There we go. Now, we're gonna draw a little bit of hair, or little bangs for his hair here. So we're gonna kind of go like this. There we are. A little bit of hair. And if you need to, erase that line behind it. That's why I started writing with, or I started drawing really lightly, so I can erase this real easily. Okay, so now I'm gonna put in this little spot right here, go right to the center, just if these were like little circles, and we're just gonna do a perfect little U shape right here. When I say perfect, I mean as best as you can get it, because I can't get it perfect either. And then we're gonna add some teeth. Now, in the Himalayan mountains, the communities would use the abominable snowman, or the YETI, is what they would call the YETI, as kind of a warning for people not to leave the community because of other dangerous animals that really did exist outside of their communities in the mountains, and so they had to be careful. And so this was kind of a story that they had come up with, this character they'd come up with to kind of help people remember to stay inside. But it really took form, and people really ran with it, just like Bigfoot. There's a lot of people out there that still believe that they have seen Bigfoot, or believe that Bigfoot is out there. So I don't want to tear anybody's beliefs down and say that it isn't, because I've not seen evidence that there isn't either. So, all right, we're gonna draw some fur here. So I did a little bit of the hair, just do these little lines right here. We're gonna go all the way around. See, it's starting to look like a little YETI after all. All right, here we go. There we are. Now we need to give him some eyes. Let's do this. 2 circles like this. They're too far apart. He's gonna look a little creepy, or like he's not all there. So let's do a little bit. We'll move those in a little bit. There you go. There we go. That looks much better. Okay. One eye is a little bit bigger than the other, but we'll have to fix that later. And then we'll have them looking all nice and friendly with a big pupil. That's the black part in the middle of your eye. The bigger that pupil, the friendlier they are. The friendlier looking, I should say. There you go. He's gonna be looking down, and then we'll give him a little nose here. Look at that little nose. Looks like a friendly little guy, or big guy. Oh, all right, I think we should give him a little goatee, or maybe this is more like a soul patch, but let's do a little bit of hair right here on his chin. And we'll kind of close that off. There we are. And we'll erase what's in the middle so we remember not to write over that. All right, so now we're getting closer. So now let's go ahead and just do the same thing we did here with the fur. We're gonna do it all over the body. So on the outside, that's why we did those outlines there. So now it's a lot easier to do that fur now. See? You kind of just go whoop, whoop. And then once you get to about here, you just kind of go back in, go back up, and then we'll go in like that. All right, let's do the other side. Start up here. This is getting in my way. Man, it's good they have all this fur, right? If they're going to be up in the cold mountains up in the Himalayas, those are really high up. Really big mountains. All right. That arm looks a little bit stronger, but hey, maybe he has a stronger left hand. And then we're going to give him, let's see. Maybe we'll go, we can kind of go in. You can kind of shape it however you want. Maybe you want him to be not so squared off, or the legs will look a little bit different, but you can do whatever you'd like. I just kind of use this as a guide for myself to make it easier to draw the fur on here. So we'll kind of go like this. Same thing we did everywhere else. There we go. Get the furry legs in there. Awesome. And then maybe we should add some other hair. Now, you don't have to cover the whole body in hair. I have some ideas maybe with color on how to do it, how to make it look even hairier. But I'll do some, probably this will be, everything I'm doing with pencil basically is what I'm going to do with the outline. And then if I don't have it penciled in here, then that means I'm going to just do it all with the color, my markers afterwards. So I'll do one that's a little bit smaller under here, just to kind of show some of that chest hair. I like that. Okay, so remember the other drawing underneath it was supposed to be pretty light, so you don't kind of get confused. He's got his arms out there. Now we got to draw his feet and his hands. Now feet and hands are always difficult, so you can do the easy way out would be just to put this fella in a big pile of snow so you wouldn't see his feet. And I guess technically you could put his hands behind his back, but we're not going to do that because it'd be fun to draw his hands, especially since we're going to have those be a different color. At least I am. So, all right, so we'll do the first hand like this. Then we'll do our little fingers. Let's do this. Bring it in like that. So we're going to do probably about just 3. Maybe he has 5, but we're just going to draw 3 because it makes it a lot easier. So then we're going to do this too. We're going to draw a little one coming off the side, and that is the thumb. So you can kind of mess with those fingers if you want them to be longer, shorter, but I like how that looks. All right, so now for the other hand, do the same thing, kind of like the half circle. Kind of bring it back in and do another line. Now you don't have to bring it all the way back to the back because we want to be able to show that they're individual fingers. And then we'll go, these fingers look a little thicker. It's hard to draw. It's hard to draw symmetrical, the same on both sides, but we'll try our best, right? And then we'll draw the thumb over here. Maybe we'll draw this a little bit longer right there. Sure, that looks pretty good. And then we'll do the same thing with the feet. We'll try to make them symmetrical as well. So on the back side here, I'm going to kind of start with a little curve. And we're going to have it kind of come up, kind of wavy, a little bit wavy. And have it come down over here. And then the same thing over here, we're just going to do a little curve right here. Now, the toes might seem kind of difficult. So this is the one way that I like to draw toes. Now, you don't have to draw this, but you can watch and kind of see where my mind's at on where and how I would draw the toes. So I kind of make it into like a box, and so I can kind of see where the toes are going to go. Because if the toes are going to go on here, this is going to be like, let's just say this is going to be the end of it. And if this box should be a little bit bigger because that is going to be a bigger toe, because that's your big toe. We're going to have that be a little taller than the rest of them. And then this little box over here. And now I have a kind of a better idea of where things are going to curve and taper off. That's a little more advanced. If you want to just follow along, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to go like this, and then I'm going to turn it around. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to do the same thing I did with the hands, kind of like this, like that. And then this one on the top is going to be a lot bigger. And it's going to just connect with this bit right back there. So if I erase all this other nonsense, you should get a better idea of what I just did. Let me clean that up for you. There we go. Now I'm probably going to take, I don't want the toes to be that long. The lines, probably just a little bit smaller, a little bit shorter. And then I got the toes right there, and the big toe. And I think that looks pretty good. And then I'll add maybe some toenails, huh? We should probably add some toenails on here. There we go. And those could be like little ovals if you wanted to. All right, so on this foot, we'll do the same thing. Kind of curve it back in. It helps me to kind of have the box, so I'm going to do the box. That'll help me keep my toes in line here. So we got that big toe. One, two, three. Okay, and then we'll do the same thing. We'll draw the little ovals on top of there. Well, I'm excited. Okay, so this looks like a good looking little Yeti right here. So I think I'm gonna go through and start outlining, and just take your time. Make sure that you don't go too fast, and if you have lines that you have sketched in that you are not going to use the outline on, if you're not gonna do the marker on it, then make sure you erase it just in case so you don't accidentally go over it. I've done that too many times. So it's just kind of a nice way to keep it all organized. So erase things if you need to so you don't go accidentally over them. But I'm going to go through here and finish drawing our Yeti friend, and or I'll finish doing the outline here. I don't think we need to stick around necessarily for the whole thing, but I'm going to do this, then I'm going to do some coloring. So if you want to pause this and catch up, or if you just want to like let me roll through here and speed up the process for us, and then we'll just catch up at the end, that would be great too. So stick around and let's see how we do. I think our Yeti is done. Didn't have to use a lot of color, but we did have a lot of fun with the gray here, making the little fur marks. Again, this is just a stylistic choice on my part. I wanted to make it look really hairy, and you could do the same thing, or if you did it different, I'd love to see what you did. All you have to do is tag us on Instagram. Our Instagram handle is Brave Kids Art Club. And so if you want to tag us with your art, or you can just direct message us if you want us to see it. And if you send me your drawings, there's a chance that I will share your work on one of our upcoming videos. So hopefully you had a lot of fun and made this your own. That's what's important. You had fun drawing it and you're proud of what you made. So if you're proud of what you made, we also need to sign our name on our work. So I'm going to do that here on the bottom. Do my initials there. And we can call this illustration complete. I didn't come up with a name. I just thought about it. Paul. I'm going to name I'm gonna name my Yeti Paul for Nepal, from where they're from. Where supposedly they live. So Paul here is finished. Hopefully, again, you guys had a good time. Thank you guys so much for showing up and watching this. Remember, be brave, be creative, but most importantly, be you. Alrighty, we'll see you guys next time.